Welcome back to Tabletop Gaming. We're back with some more D&D. Last time we left off, we were basically finishing the last thing that we did, and we were given some downtime. We were basically told to make a list of things that we wanted to do during our downtime, and we were left to our own devices. Now we're basically going to figure out what happened from there.
Downtime period is 2 weeks.
Roughly, yeah. I think it was 2 weeks. Oh, that's the thing I didn't open. Huh.
You're good for
I knew I was missing something.
Hey, Proto.
Oh yeah,
You forgot the calendar.
the plans.
Put the calendar on the right bit.
Anybody see this?
Yes,
I
we
see
see
the
your
background.
doggo. We're also trying to focus. Doggo cute, we get it.
We're going to start it here.
And there goes the duckle.
Yeah, I thought I gave him this. A piece of.
Yeah, it looks like bread.
It's garlic bread.
It is. Oh, it's not garlic bread.
No? Oh yeah, no,
Okay,
dogs
okay,
can't have
note
garlic
that
bread.
down. Go back to the DM screen.
have
I'd like everyone to
garlic,
roll
they just-
initiative.
What?
I want everyone to roll
Basically,
initiative.
who goes first?
Initiative. Okay.
Pretty much.
If it was about heaven, I would have advantage on this, but
No,
You say
not
that.
that initiative. It's lich.
Quack.
Psycha's broken? Question mark?
I fixed this last time. I swear I did.
Are you sure?
Sure I did.
Sit. Down. Sit. Sit, Frodo. Come on. Sit. Sit.
Okay, okay. We
Sorry.
get it.
Why are you broken again?
Come on. Up. Good boy. Give pop.
That's weird, that's weird.
Give pop. No. Up. Give pop.
12.
You used to be so good at that. Now we won't do it anymore.
They work from the sheet?
There we
Works
go.
from the sheet?
Me.
Hmm.
Here's the last piece. No. Get. Come on.
I have
I
no
rolled
idea.
it again and got a 7.
Sus.
Very much sus.
Maybe
I
the
rolled a
dice
one,
are
I
just
rolled a
being
one.
vindictive. Pretty sure we've said worse on the stream by now.
I think overweighing is crazy.
Yes, and... Oh, they rolled, but they used the thingy, so we need to do this. Is it? Oh, the macro in just general has apparently broken. That would be why. Didn't work for Guy either. I'm going to assume I have a broken macro somewhere.
Oh, well, I pressed the macro itself and it rolled the 9. But I had a 12, so
I don't know.
sus.
There's no honorable frog night.
I just put them in the corners so for if I need them. Got a problem with that?
I just like hearing you do the voice whenever he introduced himself.
Right. Okay. That is the most annoying roll to ever. And
Most
one of the
complicated
best
to
is-
least complicated.
Need to assume. Okay.
Now I gotta check to see what my list was.
Yeah. Choose what bit are you starting with?
I'm just gonna drop the armor piece or weapon altogether. Start with the worksmithing jobs. And discreetly ask around the dwarven smiths about my clan and father to start.
Okay, so you specifically want to try and find the dwarven smiths?
Only for the first week. The second week I want to spend studying the tome. Does that work?
So So you want to work for do some work and some studying.
Yep.
Okie dokie. Well, you have a couple of options here. Kind of, maybe.
Alright.
No. Yes, no, kind of. So, you have previously been to the area of town where a lot of the Smiths are.
Yep.
So, first thing is that you.
Go
That's
back.
what, like, first morning of downtime. You get up, you have your food and whatnot, and head out into the brisk morning of winter.
Woohoo!
Heading across town. Oh, it's the
You're just
dog.
gonna sit there. What?
I just heard
It's the
something.
dog.
It's the dog.
Well, mine is currently sitting.
Not your
next
dog.
to me. I know.
So, yes, head out into town in the brisk morning. I can interrupt this for you. Nada. Would you say you're an early riser or a late riser?
I would say early riser, and I work long hours.
So, you don't see that many people on your travels across the town towards your destination. Then as you get there, as you arrive to where the forges and that are, it's like you can tell that the forges are only just starting to get lit. You can see the smokes coming out of a few, but not all of the forges
Okay.
that are around. And the person you worked for last time was not a dwarf, and you specifically want to find some dwarven smithing. So, if you roll a investigation, as you spend a bit more time navigating the area of forges, trying to find if you can at least one dwarven smith that's in Carnal. Yep. You come across a forge further towards the back of the area compared to where you entered, and seems to be the appears to be a dwarf working here.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to him and chat with him. See if I can't maybe secure some work at the forge if he's the owner, and just tell him I'm looking for work for a week as I'm passing through. And I need to make some coin while I'm here.
Work? We got plenty of work. Plenty of work for all winter. Same old boring work though.
I shrug. Work is work. So we're a lot. And I'll
Well, you
gladly
are-
work.
And with the extra work we got, then I don't mind an assistant. How good are you? You were
Test me.
raised as a dwarf. Right. Test you? Okay. He tosses you a hammer.
What do you want me to make?
Points to an anvil. Well, when I take out the next one, let's see how good you can get the rough shape going for the next sword.
Okay.
So you can see it's currently getting some iron heated up in his forge. You know, when he does, he kind of pulls it over. I think it's just tongs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pulls it out with the tongs. So it lays it on the. Holds it onto the anvil with you, like in front of you. Like, you know how to use these, right?
Yes, sir.
Passes it off to you. And I'll have you roll blacksmithing tools. Do you have them ready? I'm going to assume that you might have these ready with your artificer bullshit.
Well, if the tools are already available in the shop, then shouldn't I just use what's there?
That too. No, I mean proficiency thing that you can change your proficiencies. Is it proficiency with tools, or is it created tools?
I am proficient with all tools, and I can create any tools within an hour if I...
Okay, so I'll
As
have
the tools
you
are all readily available.
roll athletics. That'll be the right numbers.
Okay, give me a sec, because Roll20 decided to just go bork on me. Thank you, Rome, for being a dick.
No, that's just Google in general.
Yeah, I noticed. And you said athletics?
Yeah, if you roll athletics.
How bad is this?
Not too bad at all.
Oh, jeez.
So you start hammering it out, getting the quickly getting your rhythm and your pace going on the hot iron that he is giving you, and he stands there watching and evaluating. Well, it's not perfect, but they didn't want perfect, they just wanted many as they could. They'll do. Got yourself a job. It's like one sword, get a sword, rough sword hammered out. I'll get on that anvil. When you're done, get yourself another hot bar. Start again. I'll work on the grinding, sharpening. That lot. How long did you want to work here for?
I'm only here for a week in the city, so I can give you a week.
Good enough for me. I'll work out how much I'll pay you later. Let's get cracking.
I nod and turn back to the anvil and continue.
So, it's quite monotonous as you work effectively throughout the first week. Seems all you're doing is the same thing day in, day out.
I did say I discreetly ask about Clams, Ironbane, and my father.
When you say discreetly, describe discreetly.
In the case of my father, I would just be like, well, he looks like me. You know, he's been away for a while doing work, and I was wondering if he'd been through here. We've never really get the chance to cross paths, but such is the life of a traveling dwarf. I just wanted to know if he was okay or not. You know, I don't get to hear much. And as for Clan's Ironbane, well, I don't really see too many other dwarfs from the clan very often anymore. was wondering why.
He questions like where you're from and stuff in regards to like how are you here? It's like there's dwarves around here, but most of them stick to Merida.
My father wasn't from Baradur. He was an inventor with a small workshop, and he didn't make enough, so eventually he had to sell the house, and I went to live with my relatives, and he traveled to make more money. And eventually I set out after him as living with my cousins became a little too tedious. And I wanted to see the world for myself and maybe meet my father again as I travel.
So he doesn't have a shop here. And I doubt you'll find him in a forge. Not if it's the inventing type. Too much intricacies.
That's what I'd expect. If I don't come across any news of him, that's better than no news is better than news of his death, of course. It is what it is.
Well, other than you matching your own description, can't say I've seen anyone personally. Like,
oh well.
And the fact that being near the back wall here makes it a bit less off the beaten path for the bulk of the work. Although I do get to choose the ones that do find their way here.
I chuckle at that. And I keep going. Well, it is what it is. Is there anyone you would recommend then, who I could maybe ask? I'd still like to find out.
Find where your dad is?
Yeah, and I mean, if
try
there's anybody...
finding a detective type?
No, just someone who might see a little more traffic and might hear about any strangers in town.
I'd say the tavern, but there's quite a few of those around here. It'd be a bit of a long journey. And that's if they can even remember a specific face. And if they remember a specific face, it's not usually for a good reason.
That's true. Oh well. I keep foraging at this point and just continue.
So, at the end of the week, after spending some time speaking, but mainly focusing on the work at hand with this individual fellow, he will thanks for the help. Thank you for the help. Pleasure meeting another dwarf. And you are paid 21 gold pieces for your assistance.
Well, before I leave, I'm going to ask one more question. Why all the swords? I'd heard rumors of war, but nothing specific.
Rumors of war? It's just an order that came into everybody. Nobody really knows exactly what's going on, but that's what most people are thinking. Or at least our smithies are. Either that, or they're trying to re-equip the military for some other purpose. It's the only reason we think so many would come in. But it keeps us going through the winter, and we don't mind the extra coin.
True
Besides,
enough.
the forge keeps you warm.
I just hope there isn't another war. I'd hate to have to deal with that, and I think everybody else would too.
It gives you a bit of a suspicious look when you say another war.
I shrug at this point. I've heard stories. My grandfather told quite a few. Very descriptive. I wish he wasn't. But It sounded bad enough when he told it, and I can't imagine what it would be like now.
He must be an old fella then.
Yes, he is.
Well, good luck with that.
Well, good luck to you too, and safe
If you ever got
travel.
spare time again, and I've got the work going, you're not half bad.
I bow. Thank you. If I'm ever back in Carnell, I'll come see you. And off I go, back to the guild.
And off you go back to the guild. And off I go on to the next person because we're not going to do everything of yours all at once.
What, no studying the tome?
Gotta give it some time. We got other people waiting to do some of their shit.
Oh,
We'll do it.
Mm.
Next up is Zoho. Which one are you wanting to do first off of your list?
I would say go around making paintings and sketches of Cornell during the winter season to perhaps sell in the marketplace.
Okay, and how much time would you like to invest into that?
I don't want to invest too much time because I have other stuff. Maybe like the first half of the first week, like the first few days of the first week, he'd be making paintings, and the second half of the first week he'd be training with Sabakaze.
Okay, so 3-4 days worth of paintings.
Yes.
And would you say you're an early riser or a late riser?
He
you
would
like
be
to
an
do some
early
try some
riser. Living in the monastery, he's used to waking up when the sun dawns. At first light.
what you doing, Trouble? Come here.
Well, apparently he's going to be making some paintings at the moment. So, did you have any thoughts in mind for like what kind of scenes and stuff you'd like to paint? Are you like thinking traveling out of town and doing one from like a broad perspective, or
Yeah, I think it.
are you going
I think
for the whole like close-up photography of like everyday life in Carnell?
Well, okay. So for Zoho, he would initially go outside, probably find like a high vantage point to get sort of a bird's eye view of the city during the winter season, and do some sketches of the city as itself in the winter season, sort of get an idea of, give off an impression of what it looks like in the winter time. And later on he would do more close-up sketches and paintings of like the marketplace, the river that goes down through the city, and even one of the harbor.
So that'll be like, if we do one a day, that'll be 4 days. One from outside, one in the harbour, one in the market, and I've already forgot the bit that you said, but I'm sure you said 4.
About the river that goes down through
one of the
city.
rivers.
Yeah.
The river doesn't not go down through the city itself. It breaks off into and feeds into the canals.
Yeah. The canals, yeah.
Like, there's 2 rivers. There's one that runs off, but I get what you mean. It's like you want to like do the beginnings of the canal network kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we do it in order from like outside to inside.
Yeah. And I also see him when he's catching the harbor, he's just standing on one foot on one of the, one of those posts in the harbor, or that they used to tie boats to. He'd be standing on one of those on one foot, just sketching.
It's a bollard.
Okay, so you want to make it tricky for yourself. So
Maybe.
So the first day looking through, like, there's not really much options in the way of advantage points or much to think about when it comes to taking a sketch from outside the city. If you want to be like, obviously, the city itself is surrounded, got the walls around it, so you want to be higher up so you can see enough over those. Otherwise, you're just painting a wall, right?
Yeah. So you would.
So that kind of leads you out the top, the upper city, northern part of the city, and up towards the forest on like the orientate myself. So you would like head out the top of the city, and then you would head like northeast, which would be uphill,
Uh-huh.
and then you wouldn't like. You would probably find your best angle like would be like you would find yourself with like the church / cathedral-y thing that Cayenne visited would be on like on the left side of the page as you look at it, and
Yeah.
then it would kind of like the wall would like slope down, and you would be doing like the tops of the houses and that, and then on the far side, like the opposite side, you would have like the smoke coming up from the forges on the opposite side of the city and stuff. So it gives it nice nice flow.
Yeah. And as he's sketching Zohan music. You know, I've lived in Cornell for only a couple months. Never actually got to see it. A whole lot of it from the outside. He's just musing to himself.
There's a good range of like heights in the roof. Not like large differences other than like the church and a couple of odd buildings, but there's like nice little variances that keep it going. So we'll have a calligrapher's supplies for that one, which would be what? Let's have a look at your sheet. Yeah. Just pick something that has the correct numbers usually. Acrobatics would match the numbers. That's Dex plus proficiency. So it seems odd, but roll acrobatics.
Okay. Please be a good roll. Nat 20!
Oh my god! You kind of this first day you end up going ham. It's like you get yourself in a nice little comfy position whereby you end up forgetting about the cold and stuff, and you effectively just sit there all day, start to finish. I'm on this. I'm starting it. I'm finishing it. It's all going to be done today. No exceptions. And you come out with like high quality sketch, drawing, painting, with whatever it was. I can never remember what it's painting. It's odd. It's like it's calligrapher's tools you're using, right?
I was gonna go with painters.
And painter's tools. Yeah. So you end up with this like nice painting that you think is going to be like, if you were to sell this you could see this on like nicely sitting in a tavern somewhere in Carnell, like over the fireplace, nice centerpiece. But crossing your fingers no one ever has a brawl and fucks it up.
Yes, let's hope it doesn't come to that. Oof.
Day 2, you kind of retrace your steps out of like town, but this time, if you're looking for the river and the connection to the canals, you would probably head westward, which is the way people headed when they were helping out the farmers and stuff, because it's more open space running down. And now that all the harvest is done, it's just feel like empty fields and stuff, so you can find yourself that's the one. You can find yourself a nice area that gets you a nice angle from like where the river is, and where it like feeds off into the canals, and you kind of like the picture would be like kind of like a gateway to the city,
Yeah.
whereby you can see the like where and the river would be like the roadway that flows through, and then you can see like the different breaks off that disappear behind certain buildings and things.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah.
So we'll have a roll for that one.
Okay. Here we go. Let's roll high. 23.
It's a good painting. However, it feels like it's after yesterday's great success. You feel like it's lacking something. It doesn't feel as grand as the previous one, but it's a good painting nonetheless. There's just certain little things about it that kind of like, after looking at it at the end of the day, it's all like, someone might like this, but it's different. It's well done.
Compared to the Cornell
Just
painting,
seems
there's
a little
something
bland
missing.
compared to before. Yeah.
There's something missing. But what?
For your third day, would you like to go try and find the market, or
The market.
okay? I remember it said port or market. So, there is a market street, which is mainly, I believe everyone's been there at this point. Whereby, but mostly it comes off of like there's shops and stuff running along it, but it's mostly like when it's busy during there's lots of boats and stuff set up selling things off the barges and whatnot. And if you visit there, you'll find that it's not as busy at this point in time. There's a lot less boats. There's only like one or two like barges / boats kind of pulling in. The shops are still doing well, but it's much quieter during the winter months. So as you get there, it's like, do I want to do this quiet place, or would you like to look for maybe another market in town?
Let's look for another market. Perhaps one a little more. What's the word? Lively. If not, a quiet marketplace would make for a good painting.
Okay, can you roll an investigation then, please?
Okay. 10.
You spend the most part of the morning after visiting the first area, looking around town for areas you haven't quite been to, asking a few people that you bump into if they know of another market or whatever, and you get pointed out to two additional places other than the one that you've been, whereby there is a small market hidden kind of further into town, where it's more like a little square area where people smaller market, or you could head down to the port market, although that doesn't tend to be, by the time you a fellow says by the time you get there all the good fish is probably gone.
I'm intrigued by this smaller market. It's like a hidden gem of the city of Cornell. Make it for a good art piece.
Okay, so you get general directions from the people that you asked for where this little market might be. and when you do finally come across it, it's I don't know if you have it over there, but it's like a small square, and each building around the outside is like
Its own little shop.
little shop kind of seller. You can tell that like it's the downstairs is the shop, and then they're living upstairs.
Oh yeah,
And
like
it's got,
some
and
shops.
they've got their own. Got their own little like market, like stands and stuff just outside, like on tables and stuff. There's a.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's not that busy, but there seems to be a nice flow of people coming in for like what appears to be like the general goods and things they need. Like there's a little like what appears to be like a little bakery, random like general store that just has bits and bobs and stuff next to it.
Yes. This'll do nicely.
And you get to, but judging by the time of day, you don't think you would get like a big painting done, but like you could get a nice little quaint little thing going. You can definitely get like the outlines and stuff, maybe not necessarily color.
Yeah, get the outlines and finish it another day.
But you can always come back and get the color concept and whatnot going.
Yeah.
So if you want to roll. Sounds weird saying this. Acrobatics.
Okay.
This one.
Please roll high. 15.
It's okay. It's okay. You're going for line work. You're not going for full.
Yeah, I'm not going for full painting.
So you spend the rest of the afternoon until like, and even after the like these little market shops seem to be shutting earlier in the day than others. But you said like you have your position, and a couple of people like stare at you as they're passing through and things, wondering what you're doing. But no one really no one really comes up to hassle you.
Soho's just humming as he's sketching.
It's more a case of where's this person come from? You get the feeling that most people here know one another, and you're a bit of an odd one out, which is why they're looking. But you get yourself your line work and whatnot set up, and you're like, yeah, right. I can definitely come back. Hell, even if I came back in the summer, I could go with a whole different color palette.
Yes,
if you wanted to.
Yes, I could definitely do that. Perhaps in the springtime. Oh, that'd make an interesting palette.
Should probably put that as a no as well.
Yeah, little market line work. And let's see the port.
And then the final day, you want to head to the port.
Mm-hmm.
So, heading to the port, are you aiming for full-blown busy port, or just not too fussed?
No, not too fussed about the time of day. But he wouldn't mind getting a painting of a couple of ships coming in.
Okay.
Particularly of a ship that's unloading its cargo.
Okay, so the port's easy enough to find. It's literally that direction, points south, and then you just you head south in the morning towards the port, and then you can roll a history.
Oh boy.
Because it's been a while since you've been down here.
9.
As you arrive, you kind of find yourself in a more central portion of the long port that runs the whole southern length of town, but you can't quite remember which way was. You remember that one way was more dealing with the bigger ships and stuff, and the other end was kind of like the market, but you can't remember which, as it's been so long. So as you're
Yeah.
facing the port, left or right?
Can I do a perception check to get a better idea of where I need to go?
You may.
Woo!
So you kind of hover around the area for a bit, kind of like looking out, trying to spot. Maybe, like you said, you want maybe if there's a ship coming in or something, maybe you can spot one.
Yeah.
You are unable to spot a ship coming in, but you can get the feeling that by the general flow of traffic and stuff, that it is going to be much busier if you were to head right, which will probably indicate the fish market.
Then I go left.
Okay, so we're going left. So you head left, and as you round like the bend and things, you notice like ahead of you can actually see a couple of larger ships docked already. None of them seem to be active, right? Like with active people like loading, unloading, getting on and off. At this point, there's a few people like you can see sailors kind of dotting around, but no one seems too busy. It looks more like they might just be staying on the ship. Ships. So there's nothing coming in or out at this precise moment, but you do find a section where you've got like 3 ships within quite close proximity to one another. That you could
The overlay. It's a shame, and it's a shame I won't be able to see the miraculous work of a ship being unloaded. But beggars cannot be choosers. This will have to do.
Are you doing your pole stance thing?
Yes.
I will need an actual acrobatics check for this one.
Okay. Let's hope I don't flood.
Somehow you have perfect balance, even with the open wind crashing in through the port. From the open space, you were somehow managing to sit there, like perched on one leg, drawing the attention of every passerby, wondering what you're doing.
And then he gets a sketchbook out and starts
refusing to flinch and give in to the elements that are nearby. And then I'll have you roll acrobatics for the correct numbers for the painting for the day.
Okay. Here we go. 20.
Jesus Christ. Stop it.
Sorry. Bang. It's always the one on top.
So, standing there awkwardly posed as you draw, undisturbed by the elements that ravage you, you somehow manage to avoid getting any like water or anything on your work, and you come by the end of the day, you were like got yourself a lovely painting of these like 3 ships lined up down the side of the dock.
He's just... Yeah. Zoho's beaming until he notices the people staring at him.
Yeah, that's the bit that you didn't notice. It's like at the end, by the time you get to this, you seem to have a crowd of about half dozen people just kind of like standing, not nearby, but you can like once you start like paying attention to your surroundings when the painting's done, it's all that like off to your side, toward like over towards the first set of buildings that look like a warehouse of some sort. You see like this group of people just standing there staring at you, and they're like muttering to one another, but you can't quite hear because of how far away they are.
Oh my. And then he looks. I guess I did go in the overboard. He closes the sketchbook and stows it away before. With the great. He's of an acrobatic expert, jumps off his perch, lands on the docks, and starts heading back towards the guild. Waving at the group.
One of them awkwardly waves back. In the next few days, there's going to be rumors of a crazy man. Right, so that's your first one done. So
Yeah, first 4 days. Next is train with Sabakaza.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. We'll jump into Cayenne.
Yeah.
Who's hopefully alive and not disappeared for food.
I have a few minutes.
You have a few minutes. Would you like me to skip you and come back till after food?
I mean, you could, but there's
Oh.
one simple thing. There is one simple thing that you can do with me. Did Cayenne get mail?
Oh yeah, you have a mail one. That's neat. That's like that's not even a day.
Yeah.
Okay, so Cayenne, on your first task on your downtime
Yes.
is to head over to not quite a post office.
Yield post mailage.
Ye old lots of post sents stuck here, abandoned, never to be picked up. And you... Hang on a second. Okay, so you head into the post office and inquire. I don't want to call it a post office, but it's blatantly a post office. And inquire about mail for yourself. They ask you who you are and like where are you currently staying.
Freya Cayenne, with the guild, and goes through the spiel of its GHUILD, sent a letter from there. They're like 2+ months ago.
2 months. Our mail is slow, especially at this time of year. You got a second name to go with that, Cayenne?
Freya.
Okay. Bear with me. And the worker, one of this worker that's kind of like shuffles out back, and you can hear like some kind of like thinking, and through the door you can kind of like see them like it's just a bunch of shelves, and I'd guess maybe it's alphabetical order or something, and they got like going through there. It's like, and they pull out, there's like, and they come back with two letters.
Neat.
So you said you're at this weird the guild that's spelt wrong, yeah?
Well, I mean, it's an acronym, but it's just but the acronym's pronounced guild, so yeah.
Guild spelled wrong. Right. Well, this one is for you,
Okay.
and it's addressed to you personally.
Neat.
And if you wouldn't mind doing us a favour, seeing as it's a guild, this is for the. Could you take this with you?
Will do.
And I have hand you a second letter that is addressed to Gunthorpe.
Okay. Well, I would go back to see if Gunthorpe's there to give him his mail.
Gunthorpe still hasn't reappeared at the guild. But then again, you're only on like the first day, so.
Then I will hold on to that tape. Oh, and open the letter.
So you open your letter.
Yep.
Okay, now I need to go click on this other bit and get the other info. Beep, 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 beep. So, you have a return letter from one of the mom.
Neat.
The general gist of this letter is, it seems that you've traveled far, and your imagination might be getting away with you. Though it's good to know that you're making some friends, and that you have what sounds like some decent place to stay. And you shouldn't worry about that.
Neat.
And that is the general gist of your letter. It's just like a general quick summary. It's a little more like, you can picture it being a bit more personalized and stuff, but I'm not doing that shit.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
But it's like they're glad to know, even with your apparently wandering imagination of fighting ghosts, that you're safe, sound, and appear to be getting on well with others.
Neat.
And that's your letter.
Pog.
Shall I come back to you once you're finished eating?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Next up,
Pog.
Otto.
Yo.
It's your turn. Your list is very short. Did you think of anything else to go with it?
I'm gonna be honest, I can't think of anything. I'm not really a downtime kind of person when it comes to planning out things.
Your herbalist friend, they do live in this city.
He's not there at the moment.
No, he's not, because he's not technically not necessarily a herbalist.
Yeah.
So, your list, we've got replacing lost stuff, gardening, and look for a way to cook food. Which one would you like to do first?
Oh, I mean, I guess I could take care of the horse as well. Studying the frog. That's another thing I could do. But I will start with resupplying myself.
Okay, so you want to resupply the tent and that you lost to a baby mammoth.
Yeah.
For it is not a tent anymore.
Did I lose the sleeping bag as well, or just the tent?
Did you pick up the
Does
sleeping
it?
bag?
Yeah, I did. I slept it after the tent was taken.
Then you just need to find somewhere to.
Yeah. I'm assuming it doesn't
Yes.
really matter in differences on price though.
Depends. Do you want to shop around? Do you want to haggle? Do you?
Otto's not really a socialite, so I don't think he understands the idea of haggling very well. He'll probably try because he's heard of it, but I don't think he has much experience doing it himself. At least at least in my head that sounds right.
Mm-hmm. So, where would you like feel like going to find said tent?
Well, first of all, he's gonna ask around anybody in the guild whether they know any good places. Failing that, he's gonna go to the taverns that they visited before for some information.
On getting a tent?
I'm just resupplying for an adventurer in general.
Well, if you ask if you ask your fellow guildmate NPC guildmates, I'm guessing,
Yeah.
to start with, it's all like one of them like. Okay, let's just randomize which one you bump into first.
Please
Roll
be
a
the
d4.
please be the frog knight. Please be the frog knight.
I'm just going in order. I've got
Eh.
them in front of me. It is not the frog knight.
No!
It's
Don't
the
tell
one
me
that
it's the mute one.
speaks.
Okay, good. Thank
It's
goodness.
not the mute one.
Oh, thank goodness. 'Cause she's
It's the
scared of me.
redhead. So you bump into the redhead first as you're going around, and it's all like, well, you asked them.
Yes.
That's an indicator for you to ask them.
Sorry.
What's the actual question? That
This is the tall, slender lady, alright?
Yes, the actual correct proportion size person.
Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. I haven't been back in town for a while, and
This one.
we haven't really stayed in the city for very long, even when we were here. So, do you happen to know a good place to resupply? I seem to have lost my tent on our last travels, and I would like to look for some food as well for next time we head out. Do you know of any good places in the city?
I would recommend just a general store that most adventuring type would go into. How did you lose a tent?
Long story, but a very furry elephant baby took it.
Very furry elephant baby.
It's hard to explain. We were in.
Firstly, what's an elephant? And secondly, what's a furry elephant? Are they not normally furry?
No, they're not. This one was a cold weather animal. It was a mammal. On 4 feet, with a long nose. And when I say long nose, I mean the length of an arm. And 2 long tusks coming out from underneath this long nose and mouth. And they are about he uses measurements of creatures that the person might have seen before in terms of sight.
Currently picturing a big ball with a long nose.
Yep. I can't really explain it any further than that. It was about, How tall was the baby? It was like 40 feet tall?
What?
No, I
40 feet,
don't know.
that's big.
I don't know the measurements of... Because you said those guys were pretty big, even for, like, our idea of mammoths.
Oh no, the adult ones, yeah. It's like the baby
20?
I'm referring to isn't. Oh no, wait, I get what you mean. Because like an actual baby elephant is smaller than us. No, like the baby, like if you would probably about be in line with your height.
Okay.
Like when I say baby, I just meant like baby of that group. It's definitely not the young one.
Yeah, like I didn't think it was that young, so it's probably still pretty big, right?
Yeah, it's probably about all about the same height as you if
Okay.
you were to stand next to one.
So, imagine a beast about my height, but that's the baby of it. Uh, Basically, we were trying to avoid combat with these creatures because they are big, and we had just
Scary.
lost a fight with them previously, and we knew we couldn't win one with that many. So we let them go on their way without alerting them to our presence, and the adolescent of the group took my tent away with it.
Okay. So, big long nosed ball stole your tent.
Yes, that's about the gist of it.
Mm, well, as I said, have you tried any of the rough general stores that cater to travelers? And
I'm gonna be honest, I don't
whatnot?
think I've ever visited any in
Usually
the
we
city.
shop around.
Uh, would you recommend any one specific one in the city? That way I can at least get my bearings on where they are and look around in that area. That's kind of what I'm asking. I only really know the herbalist place, and not many people know where that is.
No side of town, guys, not there.
Otto just stands there flabbergasted.
Yeah, there's a general store not far from there. On the other side of the gate. They tend to cater for a veteran group, but I wouldn't know which one would be best. It's like for the most part, once it's like I don't tend to lose my tent.
Yeah, neither do I. It's frustrating. It was my favorite one. Oh well. I'll see about your direction to go, and thank you for the help. You wouldn't happen to know a good place to get food, would you? I'm hoping to add some cheese to my rations.
Good place that isn't here.
Yes.
I wouldn't know. This is probably the best place for food, to be honest.
Oh, in the guild itself.
Well, yeah. Have you tried that?
Of course, of course, of course. I just meant in terms of rations.
I would
Yeah.
suggest looking for various food shops.
Good point.
General
Good point.
stores do the usual. Usually have a bill of plain boring stuff. Just shop around.
Fair enough.
Something specific.
Thank you for the help. And he heads out.
Is Otto developing an addiction to cheese?
Yes, yes, he is.
Oh no.
So, you head to the northern part of town. It's like towards the herbalist shop that you know of. And then head over towards the general area on the other side of the northern gate. And you're able to find, it's pretty easy to find. It's on the road that coming in. There's a small general shop, and as you head inside, it's all like there seems to be a large variety of stuff. However, a lot of it appears to be looks to be like secondhand.
Okay. He inquires with the owner. You wouldn't happen to have now I can't words today. You wouldn't wouldn't happen to have a tent that I could use. I'm an adventurer, you see, and I lost my last one due to an altercation.
Well, that's the type we usually get in here. Probably got one somewhere. Bear with us. She start the owners start looking around their own shop, like check, and you like see them like picking up, like every now and again, like they pick up like a leather armor, like at one point just to check out what's like lying underneath it. And like after a few minutes, like that, here we go. It's a bit used, but I've got this one.
He takes a look at
Generic
it.
tent.
He takes a
It's-
look at it, inspects it, sees if there's any like holes or anything like that.
There doesn't appear any. It appears to be worn, but there doesn't appear to be any like holes or anything in it.
Okay. All
It's
right.
like there's like one patch on one corner, and that's about all you can find for like actual defects.
Fair enough.
Possibly where something was like put through to pin down, got torn, or. So you get all sorts of adventurers tend to switch some stuff up here
All
when they
right.
come through.
How much for the tent?
For that tent, it's in worn but in pretty good condition, so 2 gold.
Deal.
You
Assuming
just
I
straight
have,
up buy it.
yeah, assuming
Yeah.
I have 2 gold. I don't remember where my money is.
On your character sheet.
I'm looking at my character sheet. You know this. Also, it's different
And the
from
bit
the other
that
character
says-
sheet, so it throws me.
It's the one you've been using more often. It's the oh crap.
Yeah.
Wait, I updated this. Why did it? Here we go again. Fuck's sake.
Oh, I see it now, and it's all zeros. I forgot. Yeah, we
Yes.
forgot to change. We forgot to
No,
fix that.
I did this last time,
Did you? Okay.
which means Roll20 never saved any of those alterations.
Yay. Just tell me I have enough for now, and well,
Yeah, you go. Let's see. 6 of those. 6 of those. We don't use those. And 18 of those. Which brings it down to 16 after paying for this.
you wouldn't happen to know a good cheese seller around here, would you? And
Huh?
and maybe a place that sells rations.
Rations, I'll just head to anywhere you really kind of. Depends on what rations you want. General stores have rations. There's some of the bakeries do rations.
Good point. Is there any bakeries around here?
Cheese, though.
Yeah, cheese. Yes, cheese. And he just like rubs his
Cheese?
hands together.
Does cheese count as a ration?
No, but it's a good side treat to go with the ration. Makes it taste good.
I'd say one of the farmers, but seems like the wrong.
Wrong
How
time
much
of the year?
cheese?
Nonsense! Cheese is all year round.
How much cheese?
Yes.
That's not an answer.
I kid. I don't know, about a wheel of cheese?
I want a full wheel of cheese.
Sure, why not?
Maybe you want to speak to one of the taverns.
Good idea. Is there any
If they serve cheese, they might have a wheel of cheese.
Yeah, good point, good point. Do you know of any taverns around here? I'm still fairly new to the city, and we've been traveling for a long time, so recent changes to the city, we have no idea.
Head down to the long road. There's a lot of taverns.
Oh, yes, that's right, yes. Thank you for reminding. Alright. And, yeah, he puts the 2 gold in her hand and walks out. And heads to the tavern. On the way to the tavern, he pulls off the patch and mends the tent.
What, you don't like character?
I love character, but I want to make sure it's in a working condition. He just keeps mending until it looks like it's a new tent.
You just killed all that tent's character.
I'm back, by the way.
I noticed.
We noticed.
So, if you're going to head for taverns to try and wrangle yourself
Some rations and cheese, yes.
Okay, so we'll have an investigation to see if you can find
Okay.
a tavern that even serves cheese.
Mm-hmm.
You find a tavern that serves cheese.
Oh, yes! Cheese!
The owner is confused to why you want a wheel of cheese.
Oh, I'm just
A
a...
whole wheel of cheese.
I'm just a cheese aficionado. Don't mind me.
You're gonna have to persuade them to part with their wheel of cheese.
Well, first of all, if you were, just hypothetically, if you were to part with it, how much would you, offer in terms of price?
For a whole wheel of cheese.
Yes.
Well, you can see the owner doing some calculations in their head. Holy shit, there's actually multiple types of cheese on for D&D.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought so.
I wasn't expecting, like, 4 varieties of cheese. This has gotta be from something.
You want me to just roll a d4 to decide which one it is?
No, it's not that. Like, there's actually, like...
There's subcategories? Oh, no.
No, there's, like... I think it's from the recipe book thing. Yeah, it's from the weird
Oh.
recipe book.
Dude, that recipe book I heard was amazing.
Okay, he looks you, the owner looks you dead in the eye. $4 gold pieces.
Okay. Now, considering you do not want to part with the cheese, what can I do for you to change your mind? Do you have anything broken or that needs serious mending in this establishment?
I could do with 4 gold pieces, and if you want to throw in mending that chair over there.
Deal. And he walks over to the chair and takes a look at what needs to be fixed.
It's just got a loose leg where someone probably smacked someone else with it.
Okay. He just casts mending on it.
It doesn't wobble anymore.
There you go.
And you, as you return to, like, the tavern owner, like, comes out and, like, plonks this big round... He basically plonks a wheel of cheese. There's about 1/8 of it missing.
literally, he's happy he managed to find a place with cheese. He's not going to question it or care.
This is a big hunk of cheese. This is a full wheel of cheese with a name missing. You're spending 4 gold pieces on cheese.
Yes.
Hey, Jesus Christ. Brings you down to 12.
And
Priorities, I guess.
yeah. Everybody has to have a quirk. Let's go with that. And also, I'm looking for rations. Preferably ones that go well with cheese.
I would suggest any general store or other food store that would generally sell rations.
Ah, yes. I apologize. Some pubs do that. I assumed that you guys were also a tavern that does that. I apologize. And
I'm a tavern. I sell food and booze.
fair enough. And he picks up his block of cheese and merrily walks out.
Yeah, this is probably going to take up most of your backpack, by the way.
Most of my what?
Backpack.
Oh, yeah, probably.
It's a full wheel of cheese.
Yeah.
A
Maybe,
hefty boy.
maybe I should find a bag of holding that. I probably can't afford it though.
Not if you're spending 4 gold pieces on cheese.
Yeah.
And Cayenne would also tell you how hard it is to find a bag of fucking holding.
Yeah.
We had to go to an entirely different city.
So, we'll say that's the first one for you.
Yeah.
And we'll go on to Rill. Rill, are you alive?
Always.
That's promising. So, your list is very, very short. So I'm going to add something to it. Because you weren't here. We're going to go with... When Rill returned, she did the I'm disappearing and sleeping because it was cold outside and shit. Is that okay with you?
Yes, hibernation.
And when you finally wake up like the day after everyone else, you find yourself in the guild hall. And you didn't pay much attention when you came in the first time. You were just like, I'm gonna go hibernate now. It's horribly cold out there. And you wake up, and when you return to when you come out into the guild hall, there are... Oops, wrong token. You're not the right gnome. There you are. There is a few faces you do not recognize. I'm just gonna line them up here.
We are hearing
Boss it
background
around.
noise from Josh.
We can hear your shit.
Sorry.
So yes, when you reappear in the guild hall itself after waking up, there are 3 faces you do not recognize. And you're a late riser, so the rest of the group have effectively gone out to do their shit. They are in fact real. Yeah, there's no particular order to these, by the way. I just kind of pulled them out. Now we're over here. The one you're next to? Oh, yeah. While they're eating their breakfast, they kind of like turn around and look at you. And they wave. They don't say anything though. Maybe I should probably space these out a bit better. They offer you food. It's stew. They don't say that, I'm just letting you know what it is. And yeah, so yes, it contains meat. They smile at you and then they teleport behind the counter. And then they walk back around with another bowl of stew. Back to where they were. I'm not sure which one's more funny to introduce first. They look at you with a little confused look to your expression of, eh? The redhead looks down at Kaite. You're a bit too big to be doing that. Also, turns out they're wearing pole boots. I'm now confused myself. Give me a second. Kaite can't actually speak to them, can she? Like, she understands and whatnot.
Yeah, she
Draconic,
understands, but she speaks Draconic.
but she doesn't actually speak. I remember this right? She understands, she can kind of like speak to you and stuff, and that's all fine, but she can't speak to other people because they don't understand what the fuck she's saying.
Yes, she
Because
can
it's just
because
like-
she's spoken to Thorin.
Actually, or is it the... I'm trying to remember whether it's freaking mental bullshit or not. My head just decided to go kapooey. And I also need to check that one. Languages. What languages do you know? No idea what
know
she's
the-
saying. It's just another creature. She shoos her away. Or at least attempts to. Stew. Meaty stew. I keep away with a 4-foot. The one next to you kind of like pokes Kaite. They stuff a ball of stew on the floor under their nose. And then quickly head off behind the counter and then teleport back to the table with a new bowl of stew. It might be a while before you find out who this is. Depending on what other people do. So yeah, you've got.
No, are
You've
you talking the
introduced-
mini-me?
No, it's like Rill's random spontaneity is basically chosen. I'm gonna go and see this new face first, and she's chosen the mute.
Big oof.
It's like, so you got the one next to you, and then there's the one that Shukai take away that you haven't introduced yourself to, and the third one that you also haven't introduced yourself to at all in any way.
Oh, the honorable. Yep.
So it's up to you if you want to like introduce yourself to them, or just like I can move on to the next bit and loop around again. Okay, so looking up from the table over. So this one appears to be a gnome. Human. And another gnome. And this one looks up and looks over. Oh yes, we haven't introduced ourselves. My name is Hoppy, and this is Mr. Froggo. And I am a very honourable frog knight. Who might be you? Oh wait, you said Real, wasn't it? Nice to meet you, Real. You seemed a bit sleepy before. Everything okay? I will assume that is that one there, enjoying the stew. Nice to meet you, beloved. Oh, my apologies. I thought you meant the name was beloved. Nice to meet you, Kaite. My name is Hoppy, and I am an honourable frog knight. This is my loyal companion, Mr. Froggo. It would be preferred not to try to eat Mr. Froggo. And I'll also request that he doesn't try to eat you. But that's not usually a worry. He is my loyal companion. Has been for a long time. And he is yet to ever misbehave for me. Isn't that Isn't that right, Mr. Froggo? The frog's eyes just kind of blink. The frog is about the same size as Kaite. Maybe a bit more chunky. And as for that grumpy one over there, that be Alfia. Then the redhead kind of like just looks at him. Really? Yes, Alfia. At least that's how you could pronounce it. And as for your new friend over there, I don't know her name yet. She's been here for about a month now, and still hasn't told me. But she's a friendly one. It is very good stew as well. Made by Forik, but I guess you know that, seeing as if you're here, you must be a guild member too. I presume those would be the ones that we met yesterday on your return. They seem friendly enough. They had many tales to tell. It was rather intriguing. Well, all this talk of traveling and finding the ghost lady and something about under the mountain and off into the wild blue yonder of a very cold place. There was a lot, like a whole adventure. I wouldn't really worry about that. Based on what they were talking about, it's gonna be a bit of time before you head out again. Got any plans? Gosh,
What?
you're humming. You can hear it. It's distracting. Well, I'm not sure what real things would entail, but best of luck with them. If you need any help, don't hesitate to ask us. That's what we're here to do, even for our fellow guildies. Okie dokie. I'm going to head round to Foreign if that's alright.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Foreign. Part 2. Technically it's part 2 for you, because you said 1 week on the first thing and 1 week on the next, right?
Yeah.
And second week you wanted to...
Study the book.
Yeah, would you like that out loud or would you like it typed to you?
Type to me, please.
Coward.
Okay, this may be
No.
maybe a boring section as I just type a shit ton of stuff to Josh.
Coward.
Because and if he spends the whole another week on figuring out the rest of it, I think it's enough time spent sitting down for a whole week actually studying it uninterrupted and things. I'll give you just the summary,
Oh, jeez.
so it's quicker and simpler. So let's just quickly.
I love how everyone expects me to spill on this. But I love the intrigue of not telling people.
Don't be a dick, though.
I'm not teasing people or
Also, don't blanket statement. I haven't said a thing.
There was a general statement. Also, I'm amazed. I still have a puppo in my room with me right now.
Good job.
Normally, he runs away. No, don't close that tab, damn it. Ugh. I need that open right now.
For a summary, it's pretty long.
Mark.
Mark.
I think that is it. Do with that what you will, and I will head on to Zoho.
Yes.
So, you spent the first half a week? Yeah, half a week
Yeah, making paintings.
making paintings, and then you wanted to spend the second half, or at least the second half of the week, started training with Sabakaze, was that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, how do you picture Zoho training?
He would ask Sabakaze if it was possible for her to assume a physical form so they could spar.
Oh. You want to actually fight me? That's interesting.
Merely to gauge how much I've improved since the last time we fought. If any improvement occurred at all. It's up to you.
Well, it is a intriguing idea. Though I don't think you're ready to beat me yet.
Then what would you suggest?
I'm not saying it's a bad idea, I'm just saying. I'm quite surprised you're finally taking things a bit more seriously.
I I have noticed during our travels that the more I use your spells, the more options are unlocked for me. It is almost as if, through training with the spells in mind, to create a strategy is on how to approach combat. Something like that. The more I use you, the more I train with you, I feel I will become one step closer towards the ideal you want me to reach.
The ideal that you want, that I want you to reach. Interesting. Well, if you're serious about this, you're going to have to find somewhere discreet.
Discreet, you say? There are woods outside of Carnell. Should be discreet enough. Unless we could find a place within the city walls where we won't draw any eyes, though. I have noticed this in the past several days. There are crowds in this city no matter where you go. Draw attention unintentionally, in a way. So it would behoove us to find a place outside the city. Don't you think?
Find a place, and I'll humor this idea.
And to make sure that he goes prepared, he takes the spear that Thorn made for him, the rapier, along with the spear he got from the kobold.
Okay.
And he takes the Bakaze outside the city of Carnell and into the woods.
Okay, so you're basically going to train by sparring. Okay. So, I'm not going to do an actual fight and stuff.
Right.
Firstly, we'll roll an investigation to kind of try and find a location. Dave.
21.
Yeah, that'll do it. Stop rolling high. No, wait, keep rolling high today, because then next time you might actually get hurt. When it's like, it'll flip eventually.
It will flip.
Right, so. It takes you like the next day to find somewhere within the woods that you deem appropriate. You're thinking to yourself, it's like, okay, it's all well and good fighting. It's like out in the woods, away from people. You don't. It's like as she said, discreet. However, you're going to need enough. What you want is definitely it's like enough space to move around. And
So
maybe you have some ideas of like a strategy whereby it's like, well, if I can find this kind of place, maybe I can get a bit of an upper hand. Or whatever.
There's
like,
one thing he recalled from the first fight with Sabakaze. She excels in areas where there's a lot of room to move around. But if they were to spar somewhere where you're forced to move, well, there are a lot of obstacles and you can't move around as freely,
So you want to deliberately find somewhere you have obstacles and things.
Hmm.
Okay. So you spend the first day, but like exploring, like not too far into the woods, but somewhere where you think like you're far enough in that it does, and there's no signs like of like logging and stuff going on around nearby, and you feel like there's not really much you can like interfere with, in the sense of like you're not going to accidentally come across a bear hibernating while you're doing this. And also the fact that when you do certain things, certain loud noises echo throughout. So that's what you do like the majority of the day. You find yourself like an area and you figure out how you're going, like the route to and from it, so that you know you're not going to get lost and can repeatedly come back for a few, like at least the next few days.
Mm-hmm.
And once you do, it's all like you let her know, and she appears before you as the. Do I still have her? I think I do.
Hmm.
Maybe. I'm just curious if I still have the image for in Roll20 itself. I don't think I have it right now. Oh, I have the token though. Still have the token.
Mm.
Oh,
Yee.
here we go. So she obviously not that big, just making it bigger for easier to see. So she takes on like she reveals her elemental form to you and assesses the area. Are you sure you have this is going to work for you?
Hmm. In order to facilitate where one is lacking, one must be ready to initiate combat regardless of the environment. I notice when we fight, you excel in areas where there's a lot of room for you to move around in. Like the wind.
At least you remember that part. It's a shame you haven't made the best use of that idea
Hmm.
in certain situations.
Well. Yes, well. We're free to find another area. So inclined. If you're so inclined. I do not mind either way.
This will do. This will do me fine. It's a way. We're not going to. I don't believe there's anyone around.
Hmm.
This will do.
Yes.
So, how many days do you want to commit to this?
Let's see, it took us a day to find the place. I want to say 3 days worth of sparring.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 days worth of training, 1 day finding area.
Though I will, though for the sake of this spar, Let's make it so we are going for non-lethal blows. Wouldn't do me any good. To be limping back to the guild house after every day, would it?
I promise not to kill you. Is
Very
that
well.
what you're after?
I am mortal after all. One might have to exercise caution, you understand.
You then spend the next 3 days getting your ass handed to you. You quickly find out during the first sparring match that the concept of having things in Sabakar's way doesn't
really
really
stop
work when she moves as freely as the wind.
That actually puts me at a disadvantage.
It's like you find that when it's sort of like at moments where you think, oh, I'll duck and cover over here and try and like be a bit sneaky about this to get the jump on her, and so like all of a sudden she's like on your ass. You quit. It's like you find that she is highly mobile and highly flexible in the way she goes. However, you do gain a bit more power from the sparring. Starting you like after like keeping alert and for such long times going at it over and over again, and so like you start picking up on some things, and you will
By picking up the slice of wind currents before she strikes.
Are they doing this in the guild?
No, they're doing it in the woods outside Carnell.
away from people so they don't
Yeah, so they
Yeah,
don't
cause
draw a
the team.
crowd.
And
Not
each
wrong.
evening when everyone returns and Soho returns, he looks like his ass has been whooped. He's like,
And his hair
I
is
need
just
a break.
whipped back.
it's the whole
like
like
he's
it's like-
been in the middle of a tornado.
get up. It's like the daily routine for the next few days. It's like get up, have something to eat, head off to the woods and disappear from everywhere. Like get your ass beaten, take a rest, get your ass beaten again, and then like when you've spent everything you've got, like you slowly hobble back to like with your like bit of a limp back to the guild. have a quick like.
And the
have a
moment he
bite to eat
sits
and then
down,
pass out.
he just face plants into the table.
Yep. But yes, now you're starting to take it a bit more seriously. You will effectively from this, after picking up on certain things and actually starting to use the blade itself more, and trying to figure out how you want to effectively move forward, you will gain a bit of a power boost in the sense of like her charge values and stuff will go up.
Ooh.
So you can use a bit more of the power, like the power that she has. And after studying the way she moves and stuff in the woods and that, you will be able to cast Zephyr Strike. Oh, someone seems excited about that one.
I'm sorry. Was it too obvious?
So, while concentrating on the spell, I'll put all the details and stuff in at a later date for the numbers and stuff for charges, the charges it costs and that.
Right, of course.
For the minute the spell's going, your movement does not provoke opportunity attacks.
Oh, so while I'm concentrating on a spell, movement doesn't provoke opportunity.
Yeah, so for 1 minute, as long as you're concentrating on this spell, you don't provoke opportunity attacks. So you can move in and out more freely. And once, one time during the spell. So like, any point during this minute, you can do this once. You can give yourself advantage on one weapon attack with Sabakaze, and you will deal additional force damage, and for that turn, your movement increases by 30 feet for that turn alone. So basically, for one turn, you become stupidly faster. But the main thing is the fact that, like, while you're concentrating on it, you can move in and out without worrying about opportunity. Just
Nice.
note, Mouse, there are a couple of ways things do have to get around that, but for the most part,
Right.
like for example's sake, just so you know, like, remember the Wyvern Rider?
Yeah.
This spell wouldn't work on them because of the way they're set up.
Yeah, Polar Mess and Sentinel.
The combination they have, their like way the opportunity attacks work, means you'll still be able to work against them better because it doesn't work perfectly, but they would have like one chance to get you.
Yeah, okay.
Just letting you know, there are a few niche cases where, but for the most part, for 1 minute, you can go wherever pretty much you like, walking, running, and stuff. And then I just remembered the monk thing that you got level 7 and gone shit. But yes, congratulations for actually starting to realize the seriousness of this. Gain a bit of a power boost from Sabakaze.
Yay!
Details between sessions, so you've got it all on your character sheet and stuff. And then
Nice.
we'll head into Cayenne, part 2.
Well, 1.5.
Right, so you went and got mail.
Yes, I went and got mail.
What do you want to do as part 2, and how long?
5 days or less. Find out information on Storm Ridge.
Okay, what kind of information are you looking for?
Location. In with notable marks of where the fuck fair would be. So points of interest.
Okay, so let's
Notable things that we will probably have to merc to get to her.
any ideas of where you would like to go get this information from to start with, or like? So you know what you want to get. Where do you feel like you would get it to start with?
Well, let's see. Here, the first point of interest would be Gunthorpe. Motherfucker's not here. Second point of interest, guard and/or the market. Because the market is mainly the river, and best case scenario, we have to take the river.
So you want to start with the market on the riverbanks?
That is the only thing
canals.
Yeah,
I keep saying river. It's meant to be canals.
yeah, the canals. Because that is the best case I could figure out of where the fuck we need to go.
Okay.
Other than asking a guard.
In your defense, we have canals here in Ottawa. We still call them rivers as well.
Yeah, no, it's just once someone started saying the one word, it got stuck in my head as that word. Can I have an investigation for trying to find someone who has any idea about this at that location? Oh no, you have proficiency in investigation.
Fuck.
Just asking random people along the canal marketplace, you're not getting people are just sort of like, where?
Mm,
I don't leave this. Like, you find one guy and he's like, I've never left this town. Lived here my whole life. I'm like 50 years old. I don't plan on going anywhere, especially when it's called the Storm Ridge. Jesus, why would anyone want to go there? It doesn't seem like this is a location of people with that knowledge, unfortunately.
I go to.
And there's a lack of like. You asked like a couple of like the barges that are there. No. Day 2, where would you like to try next?
The port?
Port?
Sure.
Roll an investigation. Right, the port's a bit more useful for you. Turns out, bumping into a few sailors at the port, they know of Storm Ridge, and they inform you that, well, are you crazy wanting to go there? It's like, you might find some idiot that would take you there, and we know where it is. We tend to go around it, though.
I'm going to assume it's out in the sea, or at least along land.
Ah, you're starting to figure it out.
I'm going to assume. I try to get the location from them.
Persuasion.
Oh, good. I'm good at that. However, I don't trust Roll20.
Mal stole all the good rolls. That's what's going on.
Haha!
So, after getting some general knowledge from various sailors on the port, you do find one who's
Holy.
more willing to spill information to you, as crazy as you sound, wanting to go to the Storm Ridge. So, you find out that the Storm Ridge is south. Boats that cross the Great Lake and head out to the sea down the mouth of the river. If you were to head southwest following the coastline, you would quickly, well, not quickly, but it becomes very noticeable when you get close to Storm Ridge. It is an area of land that used to be the cliff face to the mainland, but for some reason is now separated and effectively stands as a large landmass separated. So, if I do a little squiggly, that might help. Pick a color that will show up on here. So, say this line is the coastline to the mainland.
Right.
Storm Ridge actually has at some point separated itself. I don't want to say mountain because it's not that shape, but it's like something carved, like took a chunk, like the whole cliff face that used to be there just kind of like shifted away, and now it stands as its own thing. With the new coastline, like cliff face being there, and Seago running around it like this.
Right.
It's like no people tend to avoid it due to it being very stormy there all the fucking time for starters. They say there's a never-ending storm raging around that area.
Okay.
Lightning continuously strikes it.
Okay.
And yeah, you're crazy wanting to go there. But yeah, you are effectively right. You're going to need a boat.
Great.
Boop, 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 boop.
I guess day 3, find a wacko to take us there eventually.
Yeah, that could be day 3. Scour the port for someone who might be stupid enough to take you there.
Where the fuck's Crazy Jim?
Don't know. I'm starting to get the feeling that Cayenne's going along the port front, like checking out every single like bar and tavern along there. Anytime it looks like someone's coming off of a ship, it's like, do they look crazy enough? So,
Compare as a group with every person in society that we've met. Need to find Danny levels. Got it.
would you like to look for Danny? Right.
I'm on camera.
Cat. So, I guess it's another investigation to. But I'll say advantage this time because you're looking for. You're looking for crazy sailors. Your options are narrower.
Pog.
Also, I don't trust Roll20.
Pog.
Okay,
She went under my desk.
Oh no.
so you're able to find. You managed to find a ship's captain in one of the taverns.
Neat.
There's some good news and bad news for you.
Okay.
He's willing to take, if you are. He's willing to negotiate, but not to the Stormridge itself.
Okay.
He has a ship. He will be in the next coming weeks planning on, say, actually heading across the lake, down the main river, and to the port town that sits on the mouth that goes to the actual ocean.
Right.
He is willing to take you to that town.
Okay.
If you do board his ship, however, you will be working.
Okay.
So it's like during the cold months and an annoying rumor of an unnatural storm that happened recently, he's having trouble finding the crew to actually assist, like, to fill in the numbers to keep his ship running to make that journey.
Unnatural storm?
Yes, there's a rumor going around there's an unnatural storm.
Different than the unnatural storm of Stormridge.
Yeah, he's not talking about the Stormridge. Stormridge is a known place. It's called Stormridge because there seems to be a never-ending storm there. That to them is natural because it's always there.
Right?
Some sailors have been saying that they got caught in a really bad storm and they felt very uneasy about it. And it felt more like it wasn't. It's like the tales of like, oh god, this, you know, the whole like Thor was angry and beat you while you're out the ocean or whatever. It's like those tales. Whether it is natural or unnatural, you don't know. But it's causing this guy some problems with getting crew to help transport the cargo and stuff on his next journey. If you know of a half dozen people that you can find to help out, he'll let you board. Or at least to the actual coast.
Neat. Well, that...
But you'll be on your own from there.
Right. Good, great.
He is hoping to set sail the beginning of next month.
Okay.
For timeline wise. So that's a little further than the downtime period that you guys wanted.
Neat. I will relay that to the group if I catch them on that day.
So yes, you know where it is. You have art transport, I guess.
Yep.
As long as you're willing to be working for him.
Right.
And I think we will head... With that, we'll head on to Otto? What did Otto want to do next?
Well, I kind of adjusted the list so that it reflects what I said during.
Just a side note. Do you know what I find funny?
Mm.
In our Discord call, it is actually going down the line is actually the turn order.
Oh,
That is funny.
I guess considering you skipped me out because I'm just always my turn. So
I was
Otto,
heading towards a place that does rations. And
And there's a Ray Ray.
I see him.
when it comes to general rations, they are because
Pretty-
you've got your cheese now.
Pretty easy to get. I can get.
Yeah, it's like if you just shop around,
Okay.
you will be able to get like your usual tack and stuff from various places for the usual amount from the player's handbook. It's more a case of how much do you think you
20.
want to buy. And
I want to buy 20.
uh, 20 would become 5 silver pieces per ration. So 2 ration. So that would be 10 gold.
Jeez. Okay.
You have enough of that, but you're starting to run short on money.
Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm not gonna purchase anything. Oh wait, no, I still need to. Okay, I'm going to hold off on the rations until I figure out if I could find anything to cook with first, just so I can budget.
So you want to ask around for alternate methods of cooking.
Yeah, that don't require like firewood or things like that.
A different way of cooking that doesn't require firewood when it... And obviously doesn't... I'm guessing you mean without a stove.
I mean, basically when we're out in a situation where the means to start a
Outdoor
fire
cooking.
are, yeah, just not available.
would you like to start?
There's an adventurer's
No, there's not. There's not a district for adventurers.
okay. A
I'm
camping
just thinking
dis-
you're missing a really obvious thing.
magic.
No,
Kaite.
I'll give you a hint. Where? Oh, you got your character sheet up. You probably can't see it.
Oh, I'm
There's
sorry.
a person in your guild that's very good at cooking.
Yeah, but we
Did you
can't
not
take
think
him
to ask
along.
them?
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that's a good point. Sure, let's
You're
ask him.
looking for tips on how to cook.
Yeah, yeah, okay,
It's
that's
like,
that's fair. That's fair.
would you like to talk to? Alright.
Yes.
Alright, so you explain your situation to Farak about like
So
difficult.
we've recently come across a problem where we've been in a situation where there is no wood to collect, and it is a very wet location, and there just really isn't any way to light any fires. Do you know any good ideas? Maybe some sort of magical equipment or something with which to cook our food when we don't have the means to do it normally?
For the outdoors, yeah.
Yes.
Problems lighting fires due to lack of wood. Wow. That is magic. What kind? You tried magic yet?
Yes,
If
but
so-
my magic isn't really centered around fire. I'm not very good at keeping a constant flame.
Alright, yeah, that would be a problem. Cook, you do need a constant flame. There is a non-magical solution,
Oh?
maybe. Wood doesn't wood doesn't necessarily have to be the go-to fuel source. There are other things that burn.
Like what?
Well, you can get oil lamps. Oil burns quite well.
Yes, but we ran out of oil when we were on our trip as well.
Well, the key is preparation, I believe.
Yeah, but
And then also, if you got any coals,
oh. Yeah, you know,
I think your problem might just be a bit of preparation issues. If you know you're going somewhere, like you said, there's a lack of wood and whatnot, then why
Well-
don't you make sure you?
that's the thing. When we when
Prepare.
we left to go this time, we were going to Barada. We weren't expecting to go into mines, which has nothing we could find, and sorely depleted
The mines weren't a problem.
Yeah, they
problem was
sorely
more the-
depleted our oil lamps and our torches. And then we immediately went into what is effectively a snowy wasteland with no trees and no way to light fires in any way after that. We weren't exactly given much time to prepare in between.
That does sound troublesome, but it's like unless you got some kind of magic in you that keeps a constant heat, it's not even necessarily a flame; it's a constant heat.
Yes.
That's
No.
what you gotta look into. But other than being prepared, it's like I said, it's like, and maybe if you get some coal, and if you're in a pinch, you can always burn. Well, I don't recommend it, but you can always burn your jacket.
Otto looks offended. he takes it, the way he dresses very seriously.
It's like, but not all food needs to be cooked, you know?
True.
Have you thought about preparing some, like, well, they have this down the port. Met this foreigner. He called something. It was something called sushi, where
I
you
knew
just,
you were gonna go there. I knew you were gonna go there.
it was just like fish. You didn't do much with it. Bit of mixing and stuff with some other. Quite nice, but
Is that
not my cup
sanitary?
of tea. Not meaty enough.
That doesn't even sound sanitary. It also sounds like it would take a lot of work to make sure that you don't get sick from that.
But my advice is to look at your preparations and maybe if you carry around a.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm gonna go look into some coal for now. I don't exactly have a lot of money.
It's like the only thing I would suggest with the coal is ideally like you would want something to make it. If you're looking at long trips and like you'll need more than one lump to get to stay alight long enough.
Of course, of course.
But if you got some rags or anything that burns really, the coal could like be supplemented with that.
Do you have an axe somewhere? Maybe I can procure myself a little bit of kindling and some wood, and then go buy some coal while I'm at it.
You wouldn't need an axe for kindling. Just little twigs and shit.
Yeah, I mean more like going out and procuring my own wood for this.
Why don't you go buy one? I can't lend you my axe, like one of my axes, and if you're going out for lengthy periods of time,
Yeah.
best to just buy an axe.
Well, Otto thanks him and heads out and tries to do exactly what was talked about, is trying to get some rations, an axe, maybe look for a way to make some money so he can actually offset the amount of cost that he's about to go through.
The shopping part is the stuff you want isn't that hard to find shopping wise.
Yeah.
Your issue now is your money.
Yeah, exactly.
So you might want to convert into, rather than doing the gardening off of your list, maybe try and find a couple of odd jobs or something that you can do.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, to be honest. All I'm really going to do with the gardening is plant what I have and move on, because it seems like the garden can handle itself. And that's not going to take very long. Like, maybe a day. The rest of the time would be spent odd jobbing.
So you want to spend a day, like, planting some extra stuff in the gardens, that's fair enough. And then you want to do some odd jobs.
Yeah.
I'll do that a little bit off screen because it'll just be like calculate how much, like, what random things you might find and odd job wise and how much you would get from it.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So we come back around to Vril again. If she has anything else. That is not distracted by a cat.
Yes. Not just decided to try and nibble at my fingers. But yeah, I can't think of anything else really.
Did you just want to do the hunting thing that you
Yeah.
put down before? Okay, I'll do the similar thing with that as with Tab, because that's just would be a quick little calculate, couple of dice rolls calculate. If that's okay with you.
Mm-hmm.
far in. We've effectively done your 2 weeks once you finish studying the book. So it'll be up to you if you wanted to share any information with anybody at this point. Josh.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold off for a moment. For the now.
Okay. Zoho, you effectively have the majority of a week left.
Mm-hmm.
You want to- Any,
Alright.
anything else off your list specifically?
The only two that I think I have left are getting supplies for the next journey to Storm Ridge and finding work for the guild that he can do.
Okay, so that's heading into the same kind of deal that Otto and whatnot are doing. So if that's okay with you, we'll just do that bit as a hour session just to see how much you earn from various odd jobs and stuff.
Okay.
Okay, and Cayenne, you've had your mail, found out some information about Storm Ridge. I've scrolled far too far up. Was there anything else you wanted to do?
Get money by playing at taverns, and/or see if I learn anything if there's a specific reason for why all the forge is, or just pumping out swords.
We can do, if you are you thinking about going to the forges themselves or different route?
Nah, just try seeing if I can get any off-duty guards at taverns or something. You can see if they spill any beans while drunk.
Find a drunk guard. Well, it's not hard to find a drunk guard if you, in the sense. So you would head to a town. Well, if you want to play in taverns and stuff to earn a bit of cash, it's all like while you're there, you can like keep an eye out for when you spot some guards coming in, and then after you're playing and stuff, you can try your luck at getting any information out of them. How would you like to go about that? What's the words? How would you like to talk to the guards, Faye?
Bring them around? Or get them around?
Okay, so you're gonna buy them around.
Yep.
After your performance and stuff.
Yep.
Are you trying to chat them up?
Yep. Just chat them up. Ask. Say I haven't been back in like a month or two. Any news on anything?
Okay, so we'll start with a performance.
Pog.
See how good this performance was.
Girl, not advantage, normal.
Alright, it's a good performance. They like you. They think you're fun.
Woo!
Especially after buying them an extra round after the performance. What are you doing around here then?
Just passing through, looking for jobs. Heard some. Just heard some things like last time I was here. Some ruffians caused, well, you all to be up in arms and checking everyone thoroughly when they came into town. Just anything real. You see if seeing. Well, I mean, you just try. Aiming to make a living.
And looking for the gossip too, it seems.
Well, look, you can't live somewhere
But you
without
don't.
knowing the happenings of town.
Well, it's like, oh, well, I could let you in on some gossip if you like. Do you like something recent or something a bit old?
Let's
Tell
start.
you why they were what they were searching for.
Let's start with recent. Or that'll also work.
What they were looking for,
Sure.
or recent. But you said you wanted recent. Which one? Pick one.
Let's go with recent.
Well, the rumor is that all these swords. They're saying they're resupplying the military, you know, us lot and whatnot, with some extra. I think they're planning on pulling a bit more than that. They wouldn't just go out and get new swords and stuff for all us. Besides, most of the ones we have are all right. Or we do for a lot of the times, yeah. And I definitely don't want to get pulled off somewhere if I can help it. But the rumor is they're building up, and they're gonna pull others into this, whatever it is. It's not just gonna be the main military.
I see.
But you'll be all right. They don't tend to pill. If you're traveling, as long as you get out of here soon, you probably won't get dragged into it.
Well, thank you for that bit of information.
Thank you for the beer.
Not a problem. And
That's a problem.
I said it's not a problem.
Oh, not a problem. Okay, I thought you said that's a problem. I was like, oh dear. And then you said you wanted to do some performing and stuff. Was that everything?
Since I got the information about Storm Ridge and what not, the rest of it would go into going to taverns, playing at taverns to get money. Any gossip.
And probably letting the group know about the ship and shit.
Yeah, and then also trying to figure out the warlock. Shit!
Okay. I think I'll come back to the warlock ship our session, because I think I need to think about that a bit more. So, if that's okay with everyone, we'll end the session there, and I'll figure out, get you to do a couple of rolls and stuff for earnings and odd jobs.
Yeah, more, the only other thing that I'd like to point out was, studying the Frog Knight Steed, but that's it for me.
Are you, trying to get the form, or?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the form.
It's just a frog, but 2 times its size.
Yeah, I figured it'd be useful, because I haven't gotten something like that with a jump
No, I'm just
height.
trying to think, I think you would have time to fit that in as well.
Yeah.
You'd earn, a little less off your odd job, but it's all Harpy is quite friendly and happy if you want to entertain Mr. Froggo for a day.
Yeah.
It's how much help he'll be to you, he doesn't know, but you can hang out with him for a day, that's fine. You would get it as a druid. I guess you would get it as a druid form.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
and he'll probably tell you a whole bunch of stupid stories about Mr. Froggo and things that he's eaten.
Otto's into that. He that doesn't bother him one bit.
Wording.
What? No, the stories. He likes listening to people's stories.
Yeah, about things that Mr. Froggo has eaten.
I have seen
So
some
yeah,
shit.
it's gonna be like this one time at Bandcamp stories.
Oh, jeez.
One time, Mr. Froggo ate this. It's like that was not a
One
good
time, Mr. Froggo ate this tuba, and he was pooping out notes the entire time we were there.
But yeah, the faffy little bit for money and stuff, I'll do our session and stuff, and we'll call it there. If that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Alrighty, folks. That's us for tonight. We'll see you guys again tomorrow night for hopefully some Lethal Company. If not, we'll be doing some more Power Wash Simulator. We'll see you guys next week on Thursday and Friday for some more Pokemon Violet DLC with the Indigo Disc and Super Mario RPG and Hi-Fi Rush without Zyka because she's going to be away on vacation. We'll see you guys then.
Bye.
Bye.
Wah.